Okay, so are you ready? Maybe. Okay, we're just gonna get started so that we don't run out of time. So the way this is gonna work, we're teaching just the course today of Turn Back Time by WayV. So I'm gonna teach the first 4 sets of 8 counts, and then Kat will teach the next 4 sets of 8 counts. So we're starting on 1, and 1 is gonna be like a very powerful step forward with your left. So just the legs on 1, stepping forward really strong on your left foot. And what your arms are going to be doing is you're coming across and then out when you step. So it's 1. And I guess you can think of it as like and 1 because you're going to cross and then come out. So pretty straightforward, pretty simple. So we're just going to move straight to B2, and I'll take questions like between sections. So 1, 2. So 2, we're dropping down between our knees on the right side. If you guys learned 7th Sense last year, it kind of like reminds me of that. But basically, we want to cross. We're bringing both fists down between the between the knees to the right. And that's 2. So we have 1, 2. And then 3 and 4 are the exact same motion 2 times, but there's a lot of moving parts. So once we're at 2, we're coming up on the left foot and jumping twice. And that's just the left leg. So we're jumping twice, 3, 4. And what our right leg is doing as we're jumping, it's like up. And when you jump, you're gonna like kick back a little bit. So not like huge kick back, but just like a little donkey kick, like a bicycle motion. So 3, 4. And you're going to do it facing forward. I'm just turning it to the side so you can see it. And then our arms to add on to that. So we had 2, 3, 4. Our left arms just straight out in a fist, and our right arms going counterclockwise twice. So depending on like who you're watching, it's either kind of like a big circle or like a tiny circle with the wrist, but it's just generally like a circular rotating motion. So it's kind of to your discretion. A lot of the moves in this dance are going to be a little bit to your discretion because everyone kind of has their own twist on it or their own spin on it. So just to review really quick, we did 1, 2, and then the arms and the legs together for 3, 4. We're going 3, 4. So we're jumping, twisting, and kicking all at the same time twice. So from the top, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on 5, you're twisting to the left and kind of firmly planting that right foot. Again, kind of to your discretion. Some of them just swivel. Some of them make it really pronounced. And I like to make it pronounced just because I feel like it emphasizes the move more. So we swivel and plant our foot. And when we plant that right foot, we're swinging our arms to the left and behind us. So that's 5, and then 6, your arms are coming down. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Questions thus far? Sweet. Okay, so we did 5, 6, 7, and 8 and are a little bit more complex, but not too hard. So we're going to do the legs first. So we did 5, 6. And then we're going to step forward with our left on 7, and it's like forward and a tiny bit to the left, so like at an angle. So 7, and then on the and, this is just the legs, we'll go over the arms next, but on the and of 7, you're bringing your right knee up, like you're meeting someone in an important place. So we did 7 and then on 8, you're planting that right foot behind you. And then on the end of 8, you're just going to replant your left foot to like solidify your legs being crossed facing to the left. Because we're getting ready to like twist around and square ourselves up. So you want to be like solidly crossed facing to the left. So going over that one more time, we did 5, 6, and we're going 7 and 8 and. And then the arms with that are like fairly intuitive. On 7, you're going to be grabbing out. So just to make that a little more clear, when you step out with the left, your hands are facing out like you're grabbing onto something. And then when you bring the knee in, you're going to rotate in and like you're doing that with me really hard. So kind of like this like little thrusty motion, like you're doing the rowing machine at the gym. So 7 and then when you do 8 and, sorry, backing up again. So 7 and then 8 and, you're just kind of bringing your arms back down. So to review from 5, 6, we did 5, 6, 7 and 8 and. Okay, so just to review from the top really quick, we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 1. So now that we've gone over that and there are no questions, so we did 7 and 8 and we're crossed facing to the left. On 1, we're spinning around and squaring up our legs. So basically just uncrossing and turning to the right. And then as you do that, you're going to swing like this little swinging motion, your left arm up with your thumb up. So it's not gonna be like a thumbs up exactly motion. It's like a little bit to the sides. It's a little more relaxed because you're getting ready to like count on your fingers. So we did 7 and 8 and 1. So when you spin, you're just using your momentum to swing up that left arm with the thumb out. So that's 1, and then 2, 3. We're counting on our fingers. 2, 3. So we're just from across to the left. We do 1 when we swing it up, and then 2, step back, 3, step back. And notice how I'm like lowering myself a little bit more each time. It's a little bit faster because we're going 4 and 5 and. So you're kind of grabbing across with your hand outwards instead of in, and your hand is like fairly open. So it's kind of like almost like you're going to grab something. So this is 4, and then 5 is still up. Sorry, on the end of 4 is still up, 5 is still down, but then on the end of 5, you're kind of doing like this sleeve motion. I'll come a little closer. Like this sleeve motion, like you're bringing your right hand through the left hand. So to review, after minute by minute, the way Lucas does it is 4 and 5 and. So we're gonna keep going. So let's just do from the twist. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6. So 6, we're coming from on the end of 5, and you're kind of gonna bring your arms like out in like this little mini circle. I do it counterclockwise, but really the biggest thing is you just need your arms to come out. Because again, they all do it slightly differently. Big surprise. So we did and 5, bringing them out again on 6. So you're bringing them out, and then on 6, you're also bringing your right leg, which was originally back, right? Because we're like in this position. You're bringing it to the front. So it's not going so far front that you're like facing left. It's still like to the right of your left foot, but it's going to end up in front of the left foot. So we're coming from back here to up here. So 4 and 5 and 6. So just like a little spin motion, and your arms kind of come out fairly quickly so that when you're spinning, they're already out. And then you're going to land in the front on 7. So it's 6, 7. And it's kind of like a little plant. Because you're like on your right toe, and then on 7, you're bringing that heel down. So reach me forward, 6, 7, and 8. So and 8, the end of 7 and the downbeat of 8 are pretty much the same motion. You're gonna act like you're like squishing a ball or like a marshmallow. But basically you just sink the knees, sink a little more, and arms are coming in. So this is and 8, and then on the end of 8, you're bringing it up like that rowing machine motion again, and straightening the legs so that on 1 you can throw. So that was kind of a lot. So from 6, so we had our 5, and then we're going 6, plant 7, and 8, and 1. So 1, you're like throwing it away a little bit. I do kind of like a cross motion. I think 10 does like a punch through the arm. So any one of those two I think look really good. There are other variations, but those are the ones that I noticed the most. So 6, 7, and 8, and 1. And then on the and 1, you're jumping, and on 2, you're landing. So you're just doing like a tiny hop back. So from the top, and then we'll go into the next 8 counts. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, 7, and 8, and 1, 2. So after we land on 2, 3 and 4 are pretty straightforward. Basically what you're doing is you're going to step forward with your right and then square up with your left. So we land on 2, and then we're going 3, 4. And if you want to make it look a little smoother, what center does at that point is just like a little half head roll. So you're facing the side at this point, but just to show you from the front, you're going to like dip your head, roll to the right, and land back center. So just kind of like following your foot so that it looks like a little groove here. So we land on 2, and then as you step with your right, you're going to turn your head and bring it back to center on 4. Does that make sense? So from 1, we did and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this next part, we'll break it down into legs and arms again. So legs, it's like that stereotypical dance move that's like in every boy group ever at some point. But basically your left leg, you're pivoting on the toe of your foot. So knee in, knee out, knee in, knee out. Knee in, knee out. I'm gonna hold on because without showing you the right leg at the same time, it's really hard to balance. So in, out, in, out, in, out. And what your right leg is doing, this is 5, 6, 7. So right leg is gonna go 5 to the back, 6 to the front, 7 to the back. So just the legs together. You're going out 5, out 6, out 7. So just to do that again one more time, a little slower. We're going pivoting on the left foot, back on 5, pivot, front on 6, pivot, back on 7. Does that make sense? So we did from the throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah? Okay, and then to add the arms to that, it's going to be pretty straightforward. You're basically just like following your right foot with your arms. The basic motion is just bringing your arms back, forward, and back. But what I recommend doing, and kind of what they do, is more of like a looser motion. It's kind of like your elbows are a little back, so it's like a pull, push, pull. So you're just like, it's kind of a little looser than just going like boom, boom, boom. So to put those movements together, it would be 5, 6, 7. On 8, you're gonna want to step out with your right, just based on like the position you're in, but you're gonna be stepping out with the left. Ooh, falling over. You step out with the left, and when you take that step out, you're bringing your arms crossed again. So just like an X in front of you. I put my left in front, but it doesn't really matter. So right in front, left in front, whichever. So 7, 8. So stepping out with the left, stepping out with the left and crossing the hands. Then on the end of 8, you're going to step out with the right and uncross the hands. And that movement will be at the same time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you kind of like lean into that right hip a little bit. Not too much because they do it kind of like in a manly way. 8 and then we're going straight into like a fairly complex part for 6 counts. So after the and of 8, we're just going to talk about the legs first, and we're going to talk about the arms separately before we put it together. So we did 8 and then we're hopping immediately to the right to 1. So this is 1, and then for the next 6 counts, or the next 5 counts, I guess, we're switching back and forth. So this is 1, switch 2. So now the left leg is bent and the right leg is out. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on 6, we're jumping to the front and we're squared up again. Knees are bent a bit, but not like squat down. So your right arm for these 6 counts, it's gonna go clockwise first. So to your right, you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then on 4, 5, 6, we're going the opposite direction. So counterclockwise, 4, 5, 6, and then on 6, you're gonna like take away from the point of you're gonna open your one hand and kind of like go to the right a little bit, and that'll make more sense once we add the other arm. So with the legs, just the right arm and the legs, we went 1. So you're gonna go to the right with your arm and your left leg forward. So really slow. 1, flip 2, 3, and now opposite direction. 4, 5, 6. And then when you go to 6, you're jumping to the front. Sorry, I messed it up. Jumping to the front and your hand like going to the side. So left hand, what you're doing is on 1. So you're facing to the right. Your left hand is like facing outward. So your fingers are out with your thumb like down a little bit. And you want to be making this angle with your elbow. So you should be able to like see your elbow sticking out of it. It's not like your hand's not out here. It's going to be like a little bit of an awkward angle for your wrist. But it's like more in. So 1, and then you're going to flip your hand in on 2, flip it back out on 3, 4, 5, 6. So in context, if we do both arms together, your right arm's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then your left arm's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then both arms are going to the right at the end when you're like facing the front, if that makes sense. So why don't we do just the arms together, and I'll stay up here so maybe it's a little more clear. But we're gonna go 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So one more time. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, switch 4, 5, 6, and that's when you're facing the front. So let's see if there's no questions. If you have a question, just like shout it out or comment it in the comment box, in the chat box. Let's try the arms and the legs together really slow. So we're starting with our left leg out. So 5. So this is like our first position. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is when you're to the front. Yeah? We're going to do it a couple more times before we like finish out the 8 counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then just to like do 7, 8, since this is actually our last 8 counts before we switch to Catherine. After 6, you're leaning into the right, spinning on 7. So it's like 6, lean 7, you're spinning, and then on 8, you're planting the left foot down. And again, you're either like directly to the left, or if you're weakest and you're like center, you're like slightly like angled a little bit to the right a tiny bit. So like instead of being directly sideways, just angling it a tiny little bit. And the reason for that is because when he spins, he like brings his arm up when he goes into the head motion, but that's the next section. So basically after 6, 7, and 8. So I guess you could think of it as like lean, spin, 8, planting that left foot down. So starting from the beginning of these 8 counts. We'll do it a couple more times and then see if we can put it together before we go to the next section. Why don't we do it from the throw, like the beginning of the 8 counts before these 8 counts. So we'll do like and of 8 when you pull and then throwing by 1. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
If we could turn back time, 再继续，再不转，跟着命运向时空回。手机在我面里拍，往未来的路扶着不在，不死决心换来差点没猜。5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If we could turn back time, 再继续，再不转，跟着命运向时空回。手机在我面里拍，往未来的路扶着不在，不死决心换来差点没猜。5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, hello. So we just did 6, 7, 8. So on 8, you're like, walk. And then you're not looking forward. On 1, you're gonna look like forward and like move your head towards your right shoulder. So you're gonna go like 1. And then basically the whole thing is you're just like head. So like your emphasis is on the left side. So when you do it and you go like 1, and then once you hit 2, you want to like jerk your head back essentially. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kind of deal. I mean, bruh. Yeah. It's just like but sideways. So you do it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then you're like do. And then once you get 8, you're gonna swivel on your left and move your right foot back. So basically you're like this, and then you can go swivel. And when you swivel, you're gonna bring your hands up like stop, because that's what they say. So you're gonna go from 8, and then you go 1, and then you're gonna go like down, up. So down, up, and then throw, and lift your left as you cross. Swaggly. Stop, rewind. Or 1, 2, and 3. If you want counts. So from 6, you did 7, 8. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, and 3. So 3, you're gonna start walking towards the right. So basically, you're gonna go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you just literally walk, 7. So yeah, so stop, up, down, throw, just 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're like plant on 7, and then you're gonna go 8 and 1. So you're gonna do hands, like, I don't know, kind of dab, but not really dab. I don't know what else. So you're gonna go your hands, and then you're gonna hop on your right leg, and your left foot is just like chilling out back here. It's just like wee. And you're basically using this motion to get you facing the right. So count wise, you do this, so you're here 7, 8, and 1. So you go 7, 8, and 1. So you're like 2 hop and a 1. And on the 1 you kind of like go down. I don't know how else to explain it.
Sorority squat.
And you here. And then the next, you're basically gonna just be lifting your legs. So you're gonna start, so you're like down, and you're gonna start with your right leg. Right leg. You can go right, then left, then right, then left. And as you do that, you wanna lean backwards, so you're not like, kind of like, yeah. It just looks cooler when you lean, and they lean. And as you lift each leg, you're gonna hit with your left shoulder. So you're gonna go like hit it every single time you lift the leg. So when you get down on the 2s, when you start lifting, it's like every half, every 2, I don't know. But anyways, you go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. So you're like this, and then you're gonna drop your left, and then go back onto your right. So like, yeah. So you're like this, you're gonna drop your left and step back with your right, and then like slide back. Then you're gonna slide with your right. And then with that, you just did 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what you want to do is have your hand out, and you're gonna have both of them out for the first one. So it's like, and 1 or whatever. So like, and step, and then when you switch, you're gonna like do a thingy, like rewind. Yeah. So da da da, and then after that, it's kind of ambiguous because they all do different things. Yeah. What Lucas does is he does like a 8 and 1. So he goes like out, and he goes like in, and then he goes like boom. So like he goes out and then in, and then he just like drops the hand, lifts the leg, does like swaggy, like 8 and 1. Da-da. Yeah. You go 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, and 1, up, down, throw, forgot counts, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, or whatever 3 hops is equivalent to right now because I don't have music. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, and 3. And then choose your moves because it doesn't really matter. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, and 3, 4, da 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 da.
If we could turn back time, 再继续，再回转，跟着命运向时空回。熟悉自我没爱你，往未来的路上找不到。不是决心换来这一路在风吹之大。下跪是都把我的手引过，在回转，跟着命运向时空回。 命为这时空